All right, I just got back from the New York Pro. I ate something. Now I'm going to do this New York Pro review. And your New York Pro 2023 winner is Tonio Burton. And I believe he deserved it. Number 2 was Stuart Sutherland, beef stew. And it was actually pretty closer than I thought. But Tonio pulled it out. Tonio is pretty much a flawless bodybuilder. He just needs to build on his physique. And then he could be very, very dangerous in larger shows like the Arnold Classic or in the Olympia. He puts 10 or 15 pounds more muscle in that physique, and he's a threat to any lineup he goes on. But he deserves a win here today. So let's go see. I'm just going to pull up some pics so we could show what you guys, show you guys to see how they look, and we're going to go from there. So let's see. Here we go. All right. So the winner was obviously Tonio Burton. So here is a really good picture of Tonio. I mean, his front double by is, for this lineup was lights out. He's got great quad sweep. I mean, his midsection is fantastic. He looks tremendous in this shot. But let's see. Okay, so right next to him was beef stew. Beef stew looked just as good. Not as complete. Beef stew is a little soft. When I see not as complete, the only shot that Tonio really beat him on was probably the rear double by, the most muscular. He just doesn't have the same roundness, thickness that Tonio Burton has, and it was probably very close. I think Stu actually believed that he beat Tonio because he seemed to be upset. He had no emotion on stage, and off stage, it didn't look like he wanted to socialize much. Let's see if I can give you guys a little bit more. Okay, so here we go. I hope you guys could see this. Tonio from here looks like a Dexter. He has a Dexter Jackson back shot here. I mean, even the way his glutes and hamstrings tie in looks like Dexter, and it looked pretty impressive. Let's see if we could bring up some more shots. Okay, here we go. All right. So we had Tonio Burton in first, beef stew in second. Third was a bit of a surprise. This guy's from the Czech Republic. His name is Joseph Kevtin. Right here is in third here because he looked very big, very massive, and in shape. And then right behind him, which you could have argued could have taken third, but he took fourth, was Joe Seaman. Joe Seaman's rear double by was really good, but I think this guy Joseph beat him on shape. A little bit of shape. That's basically it. And fourth place was obviously Joe Seaman was in fourth place. Fifth place was Eric Wood. Eric Wood would have done better if his glutes and his hamstrings were tied in better. They were a little soft. So because his rear double by was lights out, except for his glutes and his hamstrings. But he's a very young guy. I've interviewed him. He's got plenty of time. And it looks like they gave Max Charles sixth. And to be very honest, that was a gift. Max Charles, during his posing routine in the night show, didn't even turn around and do a back shot because there was just nothing there. From the back, there was nothing there. He had no glutes, hamstrings, his lower back wasn't there. It was just sixth was a gift for him. And it's unfortunate because, a couple of years back, he was breaking the top 3 in every pro show that he did. I don't know what happened. Maybe age is catching up to him. I'm really not sure. This is a show where this kind of lineup, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, you would have called him the winner. You would have, expected him to win. And now he, can't break the top 5. Maybe he just missed his mark. I don't know. But he probably didn't deserve sixth if that's what they had him at. It was a gift. But maybe he'll do a better showing next time. Let's see. So let's go down. Give you guys a little better view. I mean, we know what Tonio looks like, right? Let's look up Tonio. Tonio Burton. Okay. It's just some better pictures of him. All right. I mean, here, I mean, even from the shot, his legs are, his quad sweep is fantastic, and he even has decent calves. His quad sweep was tremendous. Oh, that's just pictures of him in the gym. All right, this is. I mean, you could tell these are shots that are lights out. This is obviously before the contest, but he looked tremendous. That front double by, that lat spread, his shoulders. He's very balanced, symmetrically flawless. He was in shape. He has tremendous, great muscle bellies, fantastic legs, and from the back is good enough. Let's put it that way. Could he use a little bit more thickness? Yeah, you could probably use a little bit more thickness. But in this show, it was a winning package. Let's put it that way. And let's go to number 2. Okay, so beef stew. Here we go. I don't know if he has any pictures. No, he really doesn't have any actual pictures. But I think Stu thought that he should have won, as he seemed to be a little upset toward the end. I mean, he's only 26. He took second in his pro debut. And you know who else took second in his pro debut in the same show? Dorian Yates took second, I believe, in his pro debut at the Night of Champions. I might be wrong. Comment down if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. So I mean, you're in good company, Stu. It's your first pro show. You're only 26 years old, and you came in second. That's pretty damn good. You have a bright future. And what do you have to do? Maybe tie in a little harder, put some more muscle on, work on your back. I mean, otherwise, in another year or two, I mean, you could be a dangerous bodybuilder in any lineup. All right, so let's see number 3. Number 3 was a very surprising, because nobody saw this guy coming, even in the previews. This was he's from the Czech Republic, Joseph Kevitin. All right, here's a rear shot. This was 10 hours ago, so it's probably the prejudging. Very big guy, lots of muscle. Okay, decent shape. I mean, probably the widest guy on stage, right? And his back was humongous. His back was tremendous. So, yeah, there you go. It's a back shot. This is not a good back shot, but he had this thick back shot. Really impressive. This guy also came in 4th in the Arnold Brazil. So he's I don't know how long he's been a pro. It's the first year I've heard of him. Not too many other people knew who he was. So if he's a young enough dude, he's got plenty of time to grow. He's got a big frame, and he can put a lot more muscle on, and he could be very dangerous. He should be very proud of himself. He's doing really well in this year. And the guy who came in 4th, who I actually had the pleasure of speaking with, him and his girl, who was a super nice person, Joe Seaman. Let's go back to the NPC, because he doesn't have any good shots of him on his Instagram. But we're going to go back to the NPC Instagram. Here he is. I mean, it's not the greatest shot, but hey, great quads. He has, if I have a better shot, he has Jay Cutler quads. They're even shaped the same, cross striations. His rear double by is great, because he was really in shape. I'm trying to see if there have any other let's see if we can go here. Nope. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here. All right. Unfortunately, I can't blow this up, but this is him right here. And you could see a little bit here. From the back here, you probably had him in 3rd. This is the Joseph. But from the front, Joseph is just wider, bigger, balance is a little better than Seaman. Some people thought Seaman should have came in 3rd, but for the most part, I thought it was a good call. I had the privilege of speaking with Joe himself and his girlfriend. I gave them Serious and Selling the shirts. They were really nice people, and I'm hoping I can get Joe on the show. I actually had the privilege of meeting and discussing Tonio Burton coming on the show. I hope he can too. That'd be great. Let's see. And number 4, I'm sorry, I apologize. Number 5 is Eric Wood. Eric has been on my show, and Eric has a bright future. The only drawback Eric has, if his glutes and hamstrings were tight and better, they were soft, this guy might have been in 3rd or 2nd. That's how good his structure and how much muscle he has on him. That is his weak point. He has to work on his hamstrings and his glutes, coming a little harder. And, he doesn't have that crazy hamstring drop. But he's also a very young guy. He's like in his late 20s. This guy, another year or two with the right coach, he could do a lot of damage. The one thing that I loved about this show, one thing that I absolutely loved about this show was the young blood coming up. There was a lot of guys in their 20s and their early 30s. Seaman, Eric Wood, Stu. Who else am I thinking of? I don't know how old the Joseph guy is, but this is the first time that he is making noise in the IFBB. So I'm hoping that he's a young dude. And it looks like these are the young guys coming up. Tonio Burton, but another 10, 15 pounds on that structure is going to be a problem for everyone. Another 2 or 3 years, and he's a problem for everybody if he keeps on going the way he's going. Now, let's go to the 212. Gareth Baggio won the 212 pretty decisively. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that the guy who came in second was Milos's guy from Korea, if I'm not mistaken. So here is Gareth right here winning. Okay, and he deserved it. This guy has a lot of muscle. Okay, he has a ton of muscle. Here we go. So here's Gareth, and you could see, the guy from, I'm pretty sure this guy came in second. Am I right? Pretty sure. But Gareth, you could see here, has the most muscle, tremendous balance, great hamstrings. His back shot is lights out. His front shots are lights out. I mean, this guy can pretty much win any 212 show he wants, with the exception of the Olympia, and he's a threat at the Olympia. Okay, I mean, I know Clarita is, the world's best, but he still poses a threat. The guy is just fantastic. I'm pretty sure this guy came in second. Am I right? Is that the Korean guy? Am I accurate? Oh yeah, here we go. Pretty sure that's him. If I am not mistaken. Oh God, I hope I'm not mistaken. But let's see if I can find a little bit better shots of the 212 guys. Let's go to the pre-judging. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay. Yeah, so it looked like, this was 1 and 2. So it was Gareth who clearly won. I mean, by a mile, clearly won. And this gentleman, I wish I knew his name. I do not. I apologize. But he looked pretty good. Lots of muscle. Probably could use a little bit more. Oh, yeah. Here we go. The Korean monster, I guess they call him. I could probably use a little bit more conditioning. I hope he's a young guy, so he could, he could build on that physique. But he looked tremendous. Now, I'm going to quickly show you the winner of the women's bodybuilding, who was really impressive. She is from Russia, and her name is Natalia. Let's see if I got any other better shots. That is one shot of her. And there's another shot of her. Okay. It is Natalia Kovaleva. Really impressive. Female bodybuilder. Balanced, lots of muscle, conditioning, great rear double bi, and still very feminine, very pretty, beautiful hair. I mean, I don't know if it's hers or not. Which is something that they love, that the NPC and the IFBB love, if you're still very feminine. And let's see if we could just look her up. Okay, NAT. Is that no? And Natalia. There we go. Good. Okay. There she doesn't have any. She doesn't have any. Yeah, they're all like these sexy photos and whatnot. They don't have any. But basically, this is her here, right here. Lots of muscle. Impressive. Very, very, very impressive. When I saw her come out, pretty much everybody had her winning unanimously. I don't know if let's see. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's a little bit, you could tell, lots of muscle, small waist, great V taper, shoulders like nobody's business. Look fantastic. And that's it. So that's basically it. I had a great time at the New York Pro. I met up with a bunch of people from the podcast. Danny Broadhurst was there with his girl, and we met up. Nate did the show. We met up. Nate, unfortunately, didn't do as well as I thought he was going to do, and I don't think he did as well as he thought he was going to do. But he's another guy that just needs to do some work. He'll go back to the drawing board. Nate's a fighter. There's no question about that. So Carlos there, Carlos Thomas Jr., who is always on my podcast. His father, who is Aces, great guy. He wants to come on the podcast. So that should be fun getting his father on because he's very sociable. He came up to me. I did not even remember him. I felt bad when I didn't remember him. But once he told me, it was a great guy. I gave him a shirt too. But it was lots of fun. And now kicks off a lot of shows. I think we got the Cali Pro, Toronto Pro. There's a bunch of shows coming up. But that's basically it. All right, guys. Remember, like and subscribe. And the New York Pro 2023 champion is Tonio Burton. All right. Later, people. Bye.